Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case out of Pima County, Arizona. Today, Savannah Guthrie, the daughter of Nancy Guthrie, put out a message, and it was very, very specific. We're going to get into that. And does someone have information? Is the FBI really listening? We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff tonight. Gather around.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace. Smile through pain with a painted face. They call me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plans, but I'll rise again. Just watch me stay.
Thank you, Donna. Appreciate you.
I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I've been
You're sleepy, my dear.
tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown. I forged my own from ashes, honey. I built my throne. I'm an unbreakable stone, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll
Miss
hear
Patty.
my name.
Okay.
I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my glove, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Let's go.
Hold up, lights on, chat in the room, another late night, and another headline blooming. Coffee going cold, but the story got heat, and one little detail keep tapping my screen. Coming in clutch, when the timeline bends, we don't just scroll, we connect loose ends. Somebody said nah, that's probably enough, but the chat said Justin, we're coming in clutch. Run that back, don't rush that part, something fell wrong from the very first start. Different day, same shaky excuse, and the math ain't mathin' when we check the proof. I'm not here to play detective for fame, I'm here when the story starts changing names. One clip, one call, one post too much, and the whole room knows we're coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, yeah, the facts stay loud. Truth don't hide when we bring the crowd. Screens lit up and the chat don't sleep. We dig real deep where the stories get steep. Pearls in the chat, lights in the back. Somebody better explain why the story went flat. You can dodge one question, maybe dodge two. With the internet clock, what you said don't cue. Wait. Say that again, you said it was there, then it wasn't back then. You said you forgot, but the record got saved. Now the chat's wide awake and the room just changed.
Coming in clutch when it all gets strange, when the facts get buried and the tone starts change. We don't need drama, the truth does enough, that's why they pull up, we're coming in clutch.
Late night crew, yeah, we built this thing. One live stream turned to a whole damn ring. Members in green miles holding it down. Whole chat moving like a small town crowd. No fake hype, no lazy spin, just one more clue and we're back again. If it don't sit right, we don't let it slide. We put the detail right up on live.
Coming in clutch, say it one more time. Whole room locked on the very next line. From the first red flag to the final touch, you know where to be, we're coming in clutch.
When the screen fades out and the night gets still, somebody somewhere knows truth comes real. We'll be right here when the next facts drop. Coming in clutch and we don't just stop.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be my camera anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the there it goes again, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable. Let me fix something, guys. 1 second. 1 second. I'll be right back. Anywho, really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is July 27th, 2026. It is currently 7:47 p.m. Enjoy, everyone. So good to see you all. Thank you guys so very much for joining me tonight. We're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case out of Pima County, Arizona. Savannah, you can clearly tell she is very, very frustrated in a lot of the video that we're going to go over today, and a lot more. A new channel that's out, someone sent me a video of it, and they were planning on doing like an interview with someone, and they got some information. Don't know how relevant it is, but they were wanting to get in touch with Chris McDonough from the interview room, and I'll talk about more of that in a little bit. If they can get in touch with me, or if you know this channel, which we'll talk about it here in just a little bit, you can have them contact me, 307-228-4906, or all justice, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. And I can probably get them in touch with Chris. Chris is a friend of mine, and all of that, but more of that here shortly. Guys, before we get started, if you would be so kind and please do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button, would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would consider sharing this video out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. And if you would hype this video, you get 3 hypes a week on YouTube. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So would greatly, greatly appreciate that. If you would do so. Put a 1 in the chat if you have seen Savannah's video that she dropped earlier. I feel really, really bad for Savannah. Put a 1 in the chat if you... Yeah, you haven't yet. Okay, some of you have, some of you haven't. Yeah. Pretty sad. Donna, thank you so much for the gold coin, my dear. Really appreciate you. Lolo, thank you for the silver star. Appreciate you, my darling. Patty, thank you for the gold coin. Good to see you. And Miss Catherine, thank you for the gold coin. Pam, thank you so much for the super sticker, my darling. Good to see you. Jennifer, thank you for the clutch. How you doing, girl? Appreciate you. And Joan, thank you for the silver star, my babies. Appreciate you very much. So a lot of you have, a lot of you haven't. Well, we're going to get right to it. Oh man, I feel bad. I feel really bad for Savannah here. And we're going to get into it as soon as... 1 second here. There's something wrong. Can y'all hear me okay? I'm having a hard time hearing myself. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Oh, Mary. Oh, Mary, did you know? Thank you so much for the sunshine. Appreciate you very much, my darling. You can? Okay. Okay. Just making sure. I don't know why I can't hear myself pretty good today, but we got you. Okay, let's get it started. This is coming straight. Oh, and Hoda Codby, she love you, SG. Hashtag bring her home. It seems like there's frustration. The internet is acting up. Maybe it's always acting up. It's always acting up. She doesn't even think the people out there actually searching. Well, I'm not. I know. Everyone feels so differently about this case. But I just can't imagine the frustration. I think she's saying they have done everything that they can do and they still can't find Nancy. Brandy says, I think that she's frustrated with Pima County because I did speak with someone earlier. Again, one of my sources in Pima County, and I'm going to tell you what they told me again here in a little bit. GT, thank you so much, my darling, for the gold coin. Appreciate you very, very much, my doll. Good to see you. In my opinion, she paid the ransom. In my opinion, she paid the ransom without answers, allegedly. You think she should have? Is that what you mean? She should have? She's saying they are searching? Question mark. No, she's not saying that. She's saying, tell us where to search. Mary dropping a goat on us. Thank you so much, Miss Mary. Appreciate you very much, my doll. Really appreciate you. Thank you for dropping that goat on us, baby. Appreciate you. It is very simple to say, I want to thank those that are taking their time out of their life searching for my mom, yet nothing. I mean, I think she's frustrated with the YouTubers, to be honest with you. Because wasn't she the one that allegedly called on the YouTubers? Are the jewels a phone thing? The jewels are basically like a super sticker or a super chat. But they're like points, and each point represents like a dollar amount, if you will. Carol, thank you so much. Appreciate you, my dear. They can range from anywhere from a few cents to hundreds of dollars. It just depends on like the sticker, I guess you could say. Thank you, Carol, for gifting a pearl necklace. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. If you received that, make sure you thank our darling Carol. Appreciate you. Here we go, guys.
Today with a very specific message.
Specific, she says.
It has been months since our mom was taken from us. Our family is in agony. We are in a nightmare that will not end. Nothing about our situation has changed. We have done our part, and we will never stop looking for her. We will always ache for her and feel that hole in our hearts.
Thank you, Leslie.
The world can be a cruel and unforgiving place, and I know that you have tried to do things the right way. So I'm asking you, begging you to do the right thing now. Make the right choice. Help us find her. Tell us where to look for her. I truly believe it is never too late to do the right thing. Help us bring this situation to an end. For all of us, no matter where we've been and what we've done, I believe there is always a way home. Please make the right choice.
Okay, so I wanted to play that all the way through. Now we're going to go back through it, and I've got some comments. Definitely some comments on that. Amy, thank you so much, babe. Appreciate you very, very much. So good to see you, my dear. How you doing? Is she talking to Matt? Well, I don't know who she's talking to. I feel like she's talking to Pima County, in my opinion. But there's more to this. There's a lot more to this that we're going to get into. All right, here we go.
I'm coming on today with a very specific message.
She says, I'm coming on today with a specific message. So it's a specific message to someone, right? Whether that is the person that abducted Nancy, Is that law enforcement? Is it FBI? Is it someone who knows what happened to Nancy, but they're just not saying? Jeannie, thank you so much, babe. Appreciate you very, very much. So good to see you, Miss Jeannie. Thank you very much. Thank you for being a member as well, my friend. Really appreciate you. I thought she was talking to the perp. She might be, but it's specific. She said it's very specific.
It has been months.
It's been what? Nearly, 7 months, 6 months?
Since our mom was taken from us.
Since our mom was taken from us, okay.
Our family is in agony.
She uses that term a lot, and I'm sure, I mean, who wouldn't be? Our family, meaning all of them.
We are in a nightmare that will not end.
Same, very similar thing that she says, this is a nightmare. What's her face? It says, walking on scorched earth.
Nothing about our situation has changed.
Okay. Now, to me, this is why I think she's talking to law enforcement, because she says, but you could take this both ways, I guess. Nothing about our situation has changed. We're still stuck at the same place we have been. Now, to me, that resembles frustration. We're still at the same place we've been. I don't know if you were talking about the kidnapper. Would you say something to the effect of, we're still here, nothing's gone on? I don't think you would want to say that to the kidnapper. Personally, that's just me, though. Maybe you're different. Hello, Miss ICU. Good to see you. Karma, thank you so much for the clutch, girl. How you doing? Thank you so much. Appreciate you very, very, very much, my love. Amy, good to see you. Thank you for the unk. Thanks, unk. Appreciate you, darling. Good to see you, my love. And thank you for the floating heart, Karma. Appreciate you, babe. So that's my take on it. Now listen to what she says here.
We have done our part.
We've done our part. Now, you could say that is for, I think it's for law enforcement, specifically Pima County. We've done our part. But she could be saying that to the kidnapper, right? We've done our part. Now, kidnapper, you do your part. It could be taken either way. Sure could. I think they paid but never received information about where her mother remains. See, I don't think that they paid, in my opinion, but we never know. Yeah, I know. I was looking at AG's letters and statements. She always addresses her mother directly, as if she's pleading with Nancy Guthrie to come home. It's interesting. You can tell Savannah's just absolutely up to here, and who wouldn't be after 6 months of your life of not knowing where your 84-year-old mother was dragged in the middle of the night out of her home, right?
We will never stop looking for her. We will always ache for her and feel that hole in our hearts.
We will never. So she says, we've done our part. We won't stop looking for our mom, and she's always going to be in our hearts, kind of thing. Again, I think this is the law enforcement.
The world can be a cruel and unforgiving place, and I know that you have tried to do things the right way.
Now, again, this is also why I think she's talking to law enforcement here. She's like, the world can be a cruel and unforgiving place, meaning the judgment that they have gotten on this. And she says, what does she say right there? I missed that part.
So I'm asking you, begging you to do the right thing now.
And you, what did she say right there? You have done your part or something like that? Or we're asking you to do your part? Now I'm asking you and begging you
make the right choice.
to make the right
Help
choice.
us find her. Tell us where to look for her.
Help us find her. Tell us where to look for her. And again, we've all looked at this case and been like, well, there really wasn't a lot of searching. Not like there normally is. I mean, yeah, they did search, but it wasn't this, in my opinion, massive search. You know what I mean? Justin, I sent you an email. You may have already sent it. Yeah, I got it, baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, love. Thank you. Linda, thank you for 10 months. Appreciate you, Miss Linda. Wonderful, Justin. Thank you so much, Miss Linda. Really do appreciate you. And thank you for 10 months of your continued support. Can't do it without you, my friend. Appreciate it. To the public, after all the fake ransoms, it's exhausting. It is. This is a very, very bizarre case. A lot of things, some things and cases are bizarre. All of these cases that get this big, there's always weird factors generally to them. That's why they get the way they are. But in this case, there's a lot of craziness.
I truly believe it is never too late to do the right thing. Help us bring this situation to an end.
I truly believe it's never too late to do the right thing. Meaning, Nanos, stop with the pony show and do the right thing now. I think there is something going on naturally that Savannah is very, very frustrated about. And this is a message, in my opinion, to put the pressure on Savannah or on Pima County. I'm going to start talking, Mr. Sheriff, and start putting the pressure on you if you don't get to crack in here. It's been 6 months. That's my opinion on it. I want to hear what you guys like. Do you think this is to the guy, the ransom guy, or do you think this is to Pima County, to the general public, to the kidnapper? Amy, thank you so much for gifting a pearl necklace, my dear. Good to see you. If you received that, make sure you give Miss Amy a big thank you. Appreciate you, my dear. But what does tried to do the right thing? But what does tried to do the right way, because it's not law enforcement? Well, I feel it is to law enforcement.
For all of us, no matter where we've been and what we've done, I believe there is always a way home. Please make the right choice.
It could be to the kidnapper. I don't know.
I'm coming on today.
I'm going to listen to it one more time. I just want to hear this one more time. And let me really listen to it. Amy, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Miss Tammy, thank you so much for gifting a pearl necklace. Really appreciate you, my love. You received that. Please give our Tammy a big, big thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Tam.
With a very specific message. It has been months since our mom was taken from us.
Mm-hmm.
Our family is in agony.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a nightmare that will not end. Nothing about our situation has changed. We have done.
Maybe she is asking to the kidnapper. I don't know. I just thought that, nothing about our situation has changed. But then I was just thinking about maybe she's saying to the kidnapper, listen, everything's still on the table that we offered you before. So not taking calls right now, guys. Not taking calls right now, but you can text me a message.
Done our part. And we will never stop looking for her. We will always ache for her and feel that hole in our hearts. The world can be a cruel and unforgiving place, and I know that you have tried to do things the right way. So I'm asking you, begging you to do the right thing now. Make the right choice. Help us find her. Tell us where to look for her. I truly believe it is never too late to do the right thing. Help us bring this situation to an end. For all of us, no matter where we've been and what we've done, I believe there is always a way home. Please make the right choice.
Maybe she is asking, maybe she is directing this to the kidnapper. Maybe this is directed. Did something happen here? Did something happen here in the last few days? And that's the next thing I want to get into. So there's this new channel out, and I honestly did not know them until one of my mods sent this to me, and they seem like a really great couple. Link is provided in the description if you want to sub up. And the reason I also, if you know them, anybody that's watching me, tell them to get in touch with me. I know Chris, and I can get in touch with him and see, if I can hook you two up. And you'll see the reason here in a moment. It's Thornbridge X Unfiltered. Has any of you guys heard this? Have any of you guys heard this channel? They only got a couple thousand subscribers. They're new. So give him a chance and sub up to him, and you'll see why. Thornbridge X Unfiltered. Okay. Again, link is provided in the description for the replay, because they were going to get this. They were doing an interview, and then they said I'll let them tell. I'm not going to play all of the video because I want you to go over there and sum up to them and all that. But just listen here. I think it's let me see where the timestamp was. Cassie said 10:30. Let me pull it here.
Not upset, but I would get where I just give up and emerge what we want to do. We think you will be too. To make sure that we weren't doing something wrong by going live with it, because apparently there's been, I guess, a couple that have put the news out there, but there's more facts now about something that most people don't even know about, I guess. So,
one of the calls I made this morning said that a podcaster got in a little bit of trouble for what they shared, and said that they were just giving me, a heads up that you probably want to speak directly to an FBI official that's in the case before you say anything, for obvious reasons. And I said, well, I honestly think that this information has been pushed aside, which is why I was researching a little bit deeper into it. I was not expecting this person to share deeper information than what's been put out by national media. I mean, literally national media. And all of a sudden, even the person that was a secondary part of this interview, when we went off air and the person that we were interviewing left, the secondary person looked at me and went, "Oh my God." And I was like, she goes, I'm a little shocked right now. So
let's play it again one more time for people. I just noticed a lot of people just came in.
Thank you for everybody for joining. I know we're not, we're still new, and I appreciate all of you for following us, but this breaking news with what Savannah just came out with about pleading for more help, looking for her mother, just happens to coincide with a interview that we did Tuesday and Friday that we were going to bring to you this Tuesday, and with an FBI phone call that I had last night, and phone calls that I've been making today. So we just thought we wanted to break in live.
Yeah, that's one.
Okay, so they did a interview with someone, and it's, from what they claim, is like they know more. Allegedly, they feel like they know some more on the Nancy Guthrie case, for whatever reason it is. And they did this interview, and then Savannah comes out with this today. From what I understand, they called FBI last night. What's that piece? Okay. She sounds always good. Is anybody else getting bounced after these? I don't know. I hope not.
By this video today, her Instagram post kind of surprised us, knowing what we know now. But let's just roll to the tape.
I'm coming on today with a very specific message.
Okay, we already saw this.
First week, she looks about as desperate and broken as she did in the first week.
Heartbreaking, yeah.
I just, I think that's why, gosh, it makes me tear up just thinking about it. I'm sorry. That the interview that I had, you guys, just, I don't know why. It's not, like Glenn said, it's not huge. It's huge in the information that we have not been shared.
We just don't want to oversell it. Don't change your plans to, well, I would change your plans to watch it for sure.
I think it's, look, I felt like, wow, we're really lucky to get this interview. I felt honored that they were willing to talk to us. And this person was willing to talk to us. It was a kind of a big deal. The person that I talked to the first time was who normally intercepts this stuff. And then I don't know what had changed, but during the interview with me, he said, let me get you in touch with the main person. And I was like, wow. And when we got off that video, taping.
Yeah, my thing is, Crystal, like, I don't want to, I don't know them. You know what I mean? They seem like very good people. They're new. And I just don't know, like you just said, she said what Nancy was wearing, what she was wrapped in, and where she's buried. And they could have a legitimate tip. The only thing about like things like this is I've done this for quite a while. And when I was a new YouTuber, I didn't know how to filter the things as good as I do now. And I don't know, like, my question is, if they do know that information, did they call the FBI? And are they just not listening? Because Thornbridge here, this lovely couple, they say that they called the FBI and it seemed like they were just completely blown off. Completely blown off. So, yes, you do. Very, very careful. I mean, I've had so many cases where, people feel like they're about ready to break this case. And they, I've had people say that they know exactly what happened to such and such, and they've seen and heard, and it's just, you don't know what everyone's, up to up here. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not saying that. However, I do want to say that I just remember this. In this video, she says, I think it might be, I don't know, one of them's family, I think, is law enforcement, and they talked to the law enforcement and they recommended them for contacting the FBI. So, I mean, there's that as well. But she was asking if, anyone knew Chris or anything, and I knew Chris, and if she wants to get in contact with me, I can see if I can contact Chris to get them in touch with each other. No, it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, any of us can get the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's Plunder or me or whatever. If you fight with someone with a FOIA long enough, they'll usually give it to you unless like a case is open. They won't then.
Looked at me and he goes, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden he started opening up to you. And then the lady ended up doing the interview with us on Friday. And again,
Okay. I understand the person Jen interviewed had not been contacted by LE yet. It was as if the person let LE know they had the information. Thank you for that, BCal. Appreciate that. Okay.
and I really thought I was going to get softball answers, not a lot of, because these people have very important information. And I think the overwhelming message was that they do not feel listened to. And that what they have has been disregarded. So then,
without giving away.
What I do find interesting about this is, they feel disregarded. Jennifer here, she said that she called and she kind of felt disregarded as well. And then you also have Savannah coming out today and she's like, tell us where to look for all of this. It feels like something is going on. I don't know. It makes me wonder, was there some forensics that came back that didn't go in the right way? There's some chatter. Like, what's going on here? What is going on behind the scenes? I don't know, but it feels like something's up. Did they hit a roadblock? Is something about to break?
Way too much. They're used to being listened to because these are results oriented people, part of an organization that
they get answers, and this person can't believe that she's not being listened to. Like I said, the secondary person that was involved with the interview when we got off was visibly shaken as well. And I think it's just because none of us thought we would get the information like this. Again, I wasn't sure if it was bogus, important. So we called Brian. And if you're just joining us and you don't know us, Brian is Glenn's brother-in-law, who is retired homicide detective from Kansas City.
Okay, so Glenn, I think she said her brother-in-law is a homicide from Kansas City.
I broke in the middle of his day and said, look, I wouldn't normally bother you, but something's bothering me about this interview I did. He goes, tell me what happened. So I gave him all the details and I said, what do you think? I mean, if this was your case, and he goes, well, here's the problem. We're not on the inside. We don't know. We don't know what they know, what they don't know, and if this is important or bogus. But
do you guys think that they know more than they had previous? Do you think that they know more now than they had previous? I don't know. Okay. Now, new video from our friend Mr. Inton, Mr. B, capital Brian Inton. I forget this guy's name that he has on here, but I love this guy. He's the one that what was he? He was talking about, he did a really good interview with Brian speaking about how he thought Nancy was really close to the ground when she was bleeding. I can't remember if he thought she was alive or not, but I remember that was a Jim Clemente. He did a really good interview with that. I thought it was one of the best interviews, actually, probably that I've seen on Nancy Guthrie about the door specifically.
7 days. So that's the first part.
Right.
What stands out to you there?
Well, there's a whole bunch of things. Hello, Savannah that's a very strange salutation.
Why didn't they say the Guthrie family? Right? Why didn't they say dear Guthrie family or to the Guthrie family? Hello, Savannah. Hello is it's a friendly. It's not near as serious either. Hello, Savannah. Indirect.
And it's familiar. It is.
Yes.
It is I think, an attempt
Very.
to sort of convey, we know who you are. And
they certainly knew who she was.
the next line, the very next line, you're going to see something that you see throughout these letters, which is, we have your mother, Nancy. Well,
duh.
She knows that her mother's name is Nancy. She knows that Nancy is her mother. She doesn't need both words. There's a lot of superfluous language in this. And
yes. Hello, Savannah. It's like, I know you. We have your mother, Nancy. Well, no shit. She's missing. Yeah. It's kind of like the whole world knows right now, right? So why are you saying that? To me, it's kind of like a stereotypical letter like you would see in the movies. Hello, Savannah. We have your mother. Well, duh.
Generally, ransom notes are very terse. We have your child. We have your loved one.
Yes.
We want this much money. This is how you get it to us. Don't call the police. That generally...
It's usually short and not sweet, right? But this one, and then the second letter that they got was totally a different tone.
What they say. But this is very different. First of all, of course, it was sent to the media. So immediately it's available to the police, which is very strange. And I've talked to you about that before. But this overselling, she is safe but scared. Those are... Obviously, she's scared. Again, that's superfluous. Of course, Savannah would know that her mother is scared. She got woken up in the middle of the night by some stranger in a...
Now, like I said, compare this to the second letter. You say that they say that Savannah, or they say that Nancy is scared. Well, the second letter says she died very quickly after she was taken, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. Well, she couldn't have been scared that long, right? And she would have already been dead. She would have, this is so important, this part. She would have already been deceased by the time they wrote that letter, because the letter did not come for 2 days. The letter did not come for 2 days. And that's really big, right? So they were either lying with the first letter, hoping to still get the money until they were asked for proof. And then the second letter, oh, we're sorry, she's dead. Gotta be one or the other, right? One or the other. Let's see here. Hamatude, my birthday today. Sorry if I didn't reply, been in and out. Happy birthday, Hamatude. Happy birthday, love. I have a new video, by the way, for my birthday people. I've got to, let me find it here. Oops, let me see if I can get it. Yeah. Here we go. You guys want to see this new video I got from you guys with the birthday? I recorded it myself. It's a happy birthday singing video. It's uploading right now, so you just got to give me a second.
Ask with a gun and dragged out of her house and then beaten and bloodied right on her front porch. Of course.
Yeah, he talks about the front porch. Happy birthday, Hamatude. Y'all wish happy birthday to Hamatude in the chat.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my darling Pearl. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from all of us at Ducks and Pearls to you.
Yay. Happy birthday, Hamatude. Oops, what is it? There we go. Happy birthday, my darling. Appreciate you. I recorded that for y'all's birthdays.
She's scared. She will be held for ransom. Will be held. This
Listen
is
to
the future. This is 2 days after she was taken.
Now this is so important because remember, I said this the other day. I just said it a few minutes ago. She will be held. That's something that you plan, right? She will be held. Will be, not is being held, but will be held. Well, they couldn't, again, when this letter was originally wrote, they said she is scared. She is scared. Second letter, she died very quickly after we got her. Nothing you could do about it. Something's off here. Something's off. Major.
Why is it?
Listen.
This is the future. This is 2 days after she was taken.
Bingo.
Why is it in the future? Why is it not? We have her. We're holding her. It's will be held is very unusual here. And then
was this written beforehand? Did they give her did they write this before they even kidnapped Nancy? And if they did, why wouldn't they just leave it? Why wouldn't you just leave that letter at the house? Right? Or send it immediately to wherever you were going to send it, to Savannah, not to TMZ. 503, thank you for the uncle alert, baby. Appreciate you very, very much. So good to see you, 503. Thank you very much for your support, my love. Really do appreciate you, darling. Good to see you. So yeah, lots of weird timing here. And it just kind of adds another layer to it.
And once payment is received, she'll be released unharmed. First of all, she's already been harmed. We know that she has been attacked, that she had blunt force trauma to the face.
Now, yes. You see, listen, they sent that first letter. This is so important to think about. They sent that first letter. She will be received, or she will be released once payment is received. And then, again, they ask for proof. The second letter, she died shortly after she was taken. We're sorry. It means they were either lying in the first letter, still trying to get their money without showing proof, or they are this is just a distraction. One or the other. It's got to be one or the other. We don't know. We don't know exactly where the trauma is on Nancy. However, it's probably the nose or the mouth. It could be the arm as well, but it does look oxygenated. Is it your birthday, Joe? Is it really your birthday, Joe? He might be throwing Chad off. Is it really your birthday? He's a kidder. Then why send second letter? That voided the reason for ransom. It did. But I think it's because they didn't want to show proof. Yes, it sure is. Today is the 5-year anniversary of Michael Joseph Vaughn's kidnapping. Yeah. Who asked for dumb Bitcoin? Yeah.
And by the blood-stained patterns outside. So that's already a lie. But once payment is received, she will be released. This is how it works. Again, this is information they didn't have to convey. but they did. And then,
oh, happy birthday, Joe. Happy birthday.
we will be holding her for a maximum of 7 days. Well, that's interesting because that directly contradicts what follows about the timeline that they give. And they say a maximum of 7 days, but then one of the deadlines is going to be the 9th, which is 8 days later.
Right. That's a good point. That's a very good point, right? We will hold her for a maximum of 7 days. Who holds anyone for ransom for 7 days, number one? Number two, there was the first deadline, and then they gave a second deadline. And if they went to the second deadline, that would have been 8 days. So they weren't doing their math very good, apparently.
So there's a lot of internal inconsistency there. Again, part of that is because this is not some kind of professional. This is somebody who's bungling their way through this, and they're going to give away a lot more too.
Yeah, I mean, you made a few interesting points. We have your mother, Nancy. I'm just thinking if I was going to write a note like this, I wouldn't say your mother, Nancy. I would just say we have your mother.
Correct. Why? Or we have Nancy, because clearly Savannah, who this is addressed to, knows exactly who Nancy is, knows exactly who her mother is. Again, you're going to see this repeated over and over again.
And I'm going to get back to this question in a second, but I want to ask you, I'll ask you it again with another part that stood out to me. But do you think it, not like ChatGPT, but it almost seems like...
It's very stilted language.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want this done, that 7 days chancing she could get away or get caught with her. You want this over and done with. Usually, the maximum a ransom is ever going to give you is 48 hours. That's about it. You're not getting more than 48 hours. They're not going to sit there in a room held up with Nancy for 7 days, a whole entire week, while the FBI and Pima County tries to figure out who this is, right? Give me my money. You can have her back. We love you too, Joe. We love you too. Thank you for being here. Happy birthday.
All right. Well, and later, I think that also comes to...
Yeah, and maybe even like a non-English as a first language person or something who put it in a translator or something, you know?
Possibly, yeah. There are some weird things in here, yeah.
Okay, so that's the first part. And then, this reporter didn't read the middle part verbatim, which makes it a little difficult to take apart the whole note without kind of knowing the context of the middle.
Listen to this.
But she described the middle, which is basically what we always know, what we already knew. She said the note demanded $4 million in Bitcoin by 5 p.m. local time Thursday, February 5th, with the demand escalating to $6 million if the first deadline was missed, with a final deadline of 5 p.m. Monday, February 9th. And the money was demanded in USD. Well, two things. First of all, does the USD...
To me, if this is not an American that is used to the American customs, we don't say US dollars, it could be someone who is into foreign trading or foreign monies in some way, shape, or form, US dollars, that they work with other currencies as well. Could be something like that. Now, I always think about not Zach. I can't think of his name. Luke Daly. I always think about, is it Luke Daly's sister that did the alleged fraud with North Korea or South Korea or something like that? Help me out, chat. They can trace these, these are an anonymous, encrypted tip line that they submitted them to. Was everything designed to confuse everyone? Some things are really off. Yeah. I don't know if Rachui's still in here, but USD, not doll hairs. Yes, not rupees. Nothing creative. Yeah. Yes. 2 billion rupees. What? With the research I've been doing, it was the mother's relative to Luke Daly. Interesting. Yeah. One of Luke's family members did like this fraud or whatever, and they were charged, and it was with like North or South Korea.
Stand out to you?
Well, I don't know how the wording is important.
Yes. They did not want dollar. Well, I mean, they wanted Bitcoin in the equivalent of US dollars. Yeah.
Don't know how that was done because
something, and that's a good point. That may not make them foreign at all. They may have just said, maybe we're taking that too seriously, CZ. Maybe we're taking that too seriously because they wanted Bitcoin with a certain amount of United States dollars. Then you might say USD. That might be the only time you would say USD. Right? We need ever how many Bitcoins that would give us, an equivalent to, $1 million. That's a very good point. Oh yeah, Bitcoin's worldwide. Yeah.
It's listed in Bitcoin, which is not US dollars, right? But Bitcoin is based on US dollars. So
now Bitcoin is based on US dollars. Well, everything is. The US dollar is the world currency.
So I think that it could either be somebody who...
It's the main currency for the world. You know what I mean?
Isn't born in the US, or it's somebody who's trying to appear more intellectual, more lofty.
It was the Korean farming of laptops. The lady is also from Tucson, Arizona, and has the same surname. Still not 100% sure, but it looks like a possibility. She's now in federal prison.
Than they actually are. And they're going to be here and other places. They use big words, unnecessary repetition. And
do any of you in chat do Bitcoin? Is there anybody in chat that uses Bitcoin? I don't do any of the currency stuff, but a lot of people do. And when you transfer to another Bitcoin wallet, you can't be traced. Yeah, but here's the thing. Though, like that Bitcoin is, for them to get that money, it's going to have to be transferred over into a bank account, right? Okay. Yeah. I don't do the Bitcoin.
And I think you're going to see that over and over again. This is something that we've seen in some notes that were legitimate, some notes that were not legitimate. So, but just so if you could take this next part line by line rather than reading the whole thing, because there's so much.
Okay. Yeah. And just the only time I've ever said USD or heard USD, I think for me is when I've been traveling and it's like a currency exchange. And like someone will say like, oh, you have USD, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
It's not like something I would typically hear.
But it says 2 paragraphs lower, it says the fact that the note was addressed Savannah Guthrie by name and demanded payment in US dollars. Did it demand payment in US dollars or did it say USD?
USD. It said
where
USD.
do you see that?
That's actually what I've heard separately for a while. I just never reported it because I didn't want to report. I was trying to be cautious with it, but now that it's out there, I've heard that it was USD.
Okay, well, all right. So this is why it's incredibly important to do if you're doing.
To me, it also seems like a more younger person would do cryptocurrency as well, right? Yeah, I think it's less likely a 75-year-old or a 60-year-old is going to do cryptocurrency. I'm not saying they can't and they don't, but I'm saying it's more of a younger generation thing, right?
Statement analysis, if you're doing analyzing these letters, to actually see the actual letters, because there's a lot of things that you can't tell from this. Not all the punctuation is there, not all the wording is there, not the pacing, the spacing. There can be unique aspects to those things that reveal information, and so we don't have that, but there's a lot here that we can still comment on.
Okay, yeah, let me keep going here. So, and we'll go through this next part line by line. Once payment is received to the Bitcoin address below, she will be released within 12 hours of deposit to a safe drop-off location back in Tucson.
Okay, so there's a lot of things here. Again, we have once payment is received, repeated, all right? And again, it's not necessary. They could have said, once the Bitcoin is in the account, we'll release her within 12 hours. We'll drop her off in a safe place. But they're trying to speak in a way that seems very, again, sort of lofty and posh and not sort of baseline English language. She will be released within 12 hours. Obviously, that's an attempt to say that we're up to 12 hours away from where she was taken from. So we have to go a far distance to get there. I think that's obfuscation.
Now, they say back in Tucson, right? Which is interesting. Are they doing that to throw you off? Or is it really back in Tucson? To me, you would just think that the FBI and Pima County would know. If the further you go with Nancy, the more likely you're going to be seen. I think it's really close.
Trying to put it off, I think that's a complete lie. They wouldn't, if they were actually 12 hours away, then they wouldn't want people to know they were 12 hours away. All right. And so, and the back in Tucson is also an attempt to say, we're not there. That's not where we're from. So, again, I think it's to throw law enforcement off the scent.
It almost makes you wonder if the note's real, if the person was closer.
Right. Yeah.
And saying the opposite.
Absolutely. That's what I think is going on there.
And then the note continued, if the payment is not received by the last deadline on Monday the 9th at 5 p.m., she will be killed.
Okay, here's another repetition. Why do you need to say the last deadline on Monday at the 9th at 5 p.m.? Again, there's the contradiction that's more than 7 days, and they said they were going to hold her for 5 days, and then they repeat Monday at 5 p.m. And that's not necessary. They're spending more time doing this, and they're adding words that I think are all puffery. The one direct thing they say is actually passive. They say she will be killed. They're not saying we will kill her. They're saying she will be killed.
Now, listen to that. She will be killed. Not exactly what he said. She will be unalived, not we will unalive her if you don't give us this money. To me, that tells me that she was already dead. I don't think Nancy was... I really don't think she was alive outside of her home. If she was alive, I don't think it was very long. I still feel like Nancy was just the target. They wanted her unalived.
And that's a direct threat. It's meant to induce fear. It's meant to encourage payment. But again, it's passive. It doesn't sound like the threat isn't an active threat. The threat is not, I will kill her, we will kill her. So I think that shows a lack of commitment to that particular
like she's going to be killed either way.
When you say lack of commitment, what do you mean?
When people communicate in this kind of situation, a lot of times they oversell, which happens a lot here, or they distance themselves from parts of the communication. And this lack of commitment here, she will be killed, it's in the passive tense. That appears to me to be a distancing from that.
Right.
And so I don't...
Exactly. Very good point, Carmelita. Note 2 apologized, claimed it wasn't their intention, right? We did not, this was not our intention for her to die. But yet Note 1 says, we will unalive her. Now make that make sense. Sorry, she passed very quickly. Probably a heart attack. There's nothing you or I could have done about this. But Note 2 says, this was not our intention for Nancy to die.
Don't believe that it is not as much of a threat as saying, we will kill her. So again, I don't know for sure if that is a
Very
language
close.
issue.
I agree 1000%. They either was very close or they really studied her, but they're close. They were close.
But it is strange. It's
again just where she lived, the way the letter writes. Who else is going to do this? Hey, luck. Good to see my friend. Guys, if you're just joining us, make sure you hit that thumbs up button or double tap that screen if you're on your mobile device.
stands out to me that the one direct threat that they should be making is passive in nature.
Does that mean that maybe they didn't actually want to kill her?
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. They wanted the money. That's a possibility.
Now, don't they say something to the effect of, we didn't realize her health was that delicate or something? Something to that effect. We didn't realize she was in, as poor health as she was. Like, if you know Nancy, you knew she wasn't good. So either you didn't know she was in like this delicate, or you're just saying that.
There are other things that contradict
You
that,
wanted her
but
dead.
we can get to them soon.
So it continues. Your mother is aware of this, and her life is in your hands.
All right, we need to.
Yes.
You want to do that again, or does that not matter? that I interrupted you.
Yeah, I'll read it again. It continues on. Your mother is aware of this and her life is in your hands.
Okay. Your mother is aware of this, of the fact that if you don't pay the money, that she will be killed.
Right. Listen,
it's a natural conclusion to draw when you've been abducted and somebody's asking.
Right. I mean, what do you think? What do you think if Nancy's 84 years old, if you abducted her and you're not letting her go and they don't pay? I mean, what do you think? They're going to throw her a party? They're not going to throw her a party. This is not a party, a laughing matter, or anything. That's the foregone conclusion, right? Like, we know that. 4 days for the ransom notes to start. No. I think it was like 2 days. I'm pretty sure. Let me look. I'll look on that and let you know.
Looking for money. That's the threat in a kidnapping. Kidnappings are for ransom, and obviously her mother is aware that she has been kidnapped. It's not new information, and her life is in your hands is projection. It is putting the blame on the victim's family versus putting the blame on themselves. So this helps them feel better, and it also is an encouragement to pay.
It almost feels like they keep like kind of stating the obvious, but is that normal in a ransom note?
No, it's not normal. It's something that you found in the JonBenet Ramsey ransom letter, but that every legitimate
the JonBenet Ramsey ransom letter, it just kept going on and on. It was 2 freaking pages. That is not normal at all. It's me, Jen. Thank you for the floating heart, my babe. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you, babies. Good to see you. Appreciate you.
Law enforcement person that has analyzed that has said that this is not a typical ransom note and that it appears to be staged.
So it goes on here. It is in the best interest of everyone to have this completed as soon as possible.
Okay, so this is also something that we found in the Ramsey.
Okay. Well, yeah. Of course it is. They want their family back. So Nancy goes missing in the early hours of February 1st. And so the whole day of February 1st goes by. February 2nd goes by. And then, let's see here. Note. Let me see here. February 3rd goes by. The Pima County Police Department issued a statement. We are aware of reports circulating about possible ransom notes. That was February 3rd. So she went missing on February 1st, 2nd. It was a good 48 hours plus that these ransom notes came in. So 2 days, which is a very long time for a ransom note to just come in.
The JonBenet Ramsey ransom note.
I mean, you would think they would have left it on the bed or something.
It is an indication of feminine authorship. When you talk about the best interests and show care about things, that typically tends to have feminine authorship. Tough guys don't generally speak in those terms, they say, they might say, a male might say, you better do this immediately. It'll be catastrophic if you don't, but saying it's in the best interest of everyone.
Thank you, Turtle. Good to see, babe. Thank you so much.
Why would the author of this think that it's okay, that they care about at all the best interest of the abductors, right? So what they're saying is it's in your best interest and it's in our best interest. Why? It's just, it's a very, very bizarre way to put this.
And again, just seems like it's stating the obvious.
Yeah, of course.
It's in the best interest of everyone to have this completed as soon as possible.
But,
yeah, it's like,
but yet they give two alternating deadlines, two alternating amounts.
It seems like the ransom note was already written, because of the alternating dates, and they didn't add the days correctly,
and they violate their own deadline, which was 7 days. So again, it's just filled with contradictions.
It goes on, you will not be able to contact me from here on out.
See, that's it.
Brian.
Okay. What person in a ransom letter says you're not going to be able to contact me from here on out? You want a line of communication, right? I will write you in 24 hours from now to see if this is going to comply, or whatever. But you're going to want to keep an open communication with the family.
In these two letters, they use plural pronouns 7 times. This is the only time they say me. Contact me. Why didn't they contact us? They say we, our.
Ooh, that's, I haven't heard this part. That's very interesting, right? You will not be able to contact me. In the other parts of the letter, they're saying us. Now, it could be just because the person is writing the ransom note himself or herself. I think it's a him. And saying me, but they were, in other parts of the ransom note, they're saying us. Yes, but you don't want to cut that. That is true. But the way that they are contacting through a third party, so to speak, is through a forum that is encrypted. Even, nobody can really get that.
But they said me here. This is a slip up. This is an indication that it is one person who's writing these letters. It's one person, not a group. It's not a bunch of people. It's not 2 people. It's one person. They slipped up. They were using we, this royal we, to seem puffed up and bigger than they actually are, just like the language they're using. So that's a consistency. But here they messed up and said me, because that's who they are, one person.
So you saying that, and then what you said about the previous line, the one person could be a woman, you think?
It's possible that I'm saying it's a woman or it's a male with feminine characteristics, feminine personality traits. That's all.
It goes on.
To me, this ransom note does seem like feminine. Do you guys feel the same way? I feel like this letter is wrote. I do feel like this letter's wrote by a woman or a guy in tune with his feminine energy.
Yeah, the me. I hadn't thought about that. That it contact me from
Right.
here on out. That's strong.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very strong. I think coupling that with what I've told you before about the blood stain, coupling that with what I've told you before about the blood pattern analysis on the front
he did a great
walkway
job on that
of the house. If there were more than one person there at that time, I don't believe she would have gone to the ground like she did, as is indicated by the blood spatter pattern. She was.
I agree with Jim here, right? Like, I don't think that there was multiple people in that home that night. Again, I'll say it and say it and say it. When this guy was here the 11th, he was here by himself. That night, we only have this one guy on camera. Also, if the FBI had another person on video, why wouldn't they put the other guy or gal out? Right? Why wouldn't they put their picture out? Why are they only putting, if there was more people involved, why wouldn't they put their picture out? You're twice as likely to find someone. But they don't. So I think there is only one individual. Just one took her, but I think there's more than one involved. I do think more than one is involved. I do agree with that, but I do not think there was more than one person in that house.
She was subjected to blunt force trauma to her face. She aspirated some of that blood, coughed it up.
Yes. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you for the gold coin, baby. Appreciate you very, very much. Good to see you, Miss Amanda. Thank you, babe. Porch Guy's eyes were described as being effeminate. His dancer-like stance on the steps indicate more effeminate traits as well. I think this guy is, like I said, I think he is and I say this as long as I've known this case, which was in the beginning, almost day one, almost. I think he's a pretty boy. I think he takes care of himself. I've always felt that way. I don't think he's this homeless guy that was, paid to do this. I think he might have been a pretty boy that was paid to do this. I think he really cares what people thinks of him.
Up when her face was very close to the ground. And if there were two people.
What do you think he's like, Goose? I don't think but see, this is the thing. Some people say, like a guy who takes care of himself is feminine. You know what I mean? But I think the letter is feminine. I don't think this guy is feminine. I think he's, like I say, he's the type, in my opinion, that wears buckled jeans. He has 2 diamond earrings. He's always got cologne on. He wears like the plaid shirts. Probably like white, really clean sneakers. He likes to keep his car clean. He plays loud music with his arm on the steering wheel like this while the windows are rolled down. That guy. That's what I think this guy is. So I don't think he's feminine. I think he's got very long eyelashes. Most of us would pay for or do pay for. He keeps his eyebrows groomed. But I don't think that's feminine, in my opinion. I'm a little bit feminine, right? But he's not me. You know what I mean? Like he's not, plastered with, lipstick or anything. But I think he's a guy that is well groomed, and I think he really cares. Metrosexual-ish, yes. Very metro.
Propping her up. One, they would have been able to control her without having to hit her in the face.
Very much.
Two, they wouldn't have let her drop to the ground. So I think that statement, you won't be able to contact me from here on out, I think that's indicative of there only been one person involved in this, at least in this aspect of it.
And then it continues, there will be no negotiation, do not play games, law enforcement will not be able to help you.
So no negotiation when they've already negotiated two different prices. They've set two different prices. It's sort of it's another contradiction. They're already saying, look, we're willing to take 4 if you get it to us fast, but if you don't, then we want 6, and but we're going to hold her for 7 days, but we're allowing you to take 8 days to get it. It's just, this is a whole bunch of just.
I think he keeps his goatee really, really trimmed, and I think he keeps like very straight edges on his goatee, like the kind that keeps the very straight edges. If he has a beard, it's like straight edges as well. He probably cuts his hair very blunt. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. Good to see you trying.
It doesn't appear to be totally legitimate because of the way that this is.
He's a narcissist.
So inconsistent. Do not play games. That's okay. Again, that's reminiscent of the John Benet Ramsey letter. It's very B-movie-esque. It's do not play games. What are you talking about? Their mother was grabbed out of her bed in the middle of the night and assaulted and bleeding. What would make them think that Savannah Guthrie would want to play games here, and law enforcement will not be able to help you? Well, you, the sender of this letter, put law enforcement in play. Why would you do that when you have the opportunity to communicate directly with her? Or you could have left that note. If it wasn't an afterthought, you could have left that note at the scene, and they would have found it. They would have known about it. You could have said no law enforcement, and they may have been scared enough not to go to law enforcement.
Or they could have sent it directly to Savannah, like in social media, whatever.
Right, but I don't know. I'm not certain how they would hide that if it would lead to more tracing. I don't know, but you're right. And not playing games could be an indicator, that they didn't want them to do what was actually done, which is sort of tickle the wire by depositing a small amount in the Bitcoin wallet. This is exactly what they told them not to do, and that's what was done.
Just the way those 3 sentences go, like there will be no negotiation, period. Do not play games, period. Law enforcement will not be able to help you, period. Like, it's so dramatic. It reminds me of almost like, this is a weird comparison, but almost like if I was writing a script for a story and I was trying to.
Now, I think that's very interesting, Brian, saying that right there, like almost like he was writing a script for a story. That makes me think of people in Annie's orbit, doesn't it? Because Annie is very bohemian, very theater kid. At that place Chris was talking about, remember, where she did her jewelry and stuff? We looked at that place, what they do, and that makes me think of someone who is, theater-ish, which is a lot of stuff that they do where Annie sold her jewelry and stuff. Makes me think AI, my people says. Deb is creative. Annie says that they are scorched. Would have been more logical to leave instructions immediately rather than communicate later. That's exactly. I would have been like, I would have left a note on the bed, or sent that note into TMZ quick.
Sound dramatic with like 3 points to end on. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And that's why I referenced the JonBenet Ramsey letter, because
JonBenet Ramsey, if you're familiar with that, we've covered that, obviously. It is a very dramatic. It seems very scripted. It seems very Hollywood-esque type letter as well. Lots of explanation points. Very weird. I don't trust that letter in the JonBenet Ramsey case, to be quite honest with you.
there were actually quotes from 3 movies in that letter. And that it's an attempt at dramatics that no professional, no person who was actually extremely focused and motivated on getting millions of dollars would waste their time doing.
Doll hair.
And that's why these letters, although they may be legitimate in terms of coming from the person who abducted Nancy Guthrie, they may not be legitimate in terms of the fact that they actually wanted money. And again, this is something that I believe they indicated by sending it to the media rather than directly to Savannah.
There was a different motive behind the whole thing?
Well, that it indicates that it may very well have been, because what in the end did they actually get? They didn't get any money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they got something.
Well, they
got
Nancy.
Savannah Guthrie to talk to them directly. They got her attention. They hurt her. That may have been what their intention was.
When it says hello, Savannah.
It does.
So let's go.
Yeah, I think that's a good point as well. The blood pattern analysis on the front walk of the house bugs me if there were more than one person there at the time. I don't believe she would have gone to the ground. Yeah, you would think that if there was 2 people there, 2 other people there, or one other person, 2 abductors, that they wouldn't have let her go to the ground, right? Justin, I want to know who wrote Savannah's first speech, the mama speech. I think she probably worked with the FBI with that as well, but we don't know. Savannah Guthrie said on Who Did the Family wrote the plea. Yeah, but I do think that the FBI was probably helped them write that.
On to the second note.
Some sort
because
of
this is now, and this one seems to be pretty much, we got, she read the full thing here, I think.
Okay, but can you wait? Can you do it one line at a time?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I
sorry.
won't go full. Yeah, we'll go.
All right.
We did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical conditions.
Okay, a couple of things that just jump out at me in statement analysis. They lose her name and her status. She's not Mother. She's not Nancy anymore. It's her physical conditions. They're distancing themselves from...
It's not, we didn't know Nancy's physical condition. We didn't know her, which is distancing.
Nancy at this point. We did not fully grasp. Again, the we, when it's most likely a me.
Right. So they use me and we interchangeably, trying to make themselves
did not
bigger.
fully grasp the seriousness of her physical conditions. It's overselling. It is too many words.
Exactly
it is
what I
not
was
how
saying earlier.
people generally speak. It is somebody trying to sound more intelligent and educated than they probably are. And they could have said, we didn't know how ill she was. But instead, they say fully grasp, seriousness, physical conditions.
See, to me as well, like, okay, who's going to say we didn't fully grasp? To me, that sounds more feminine as well. We didn't fully grasp, how, fragile or how delicate she was. To me, that doesn't sound like a man speaking, right? Like, if they didn't care, we didn't realize we were going to kill her or she was going to die.
Yeah, like who says physical conditions? It's a weird.
It is.
Physical condition, it sounds feminine. It sounds like a woman writing that. Or what do you guys think about, I don't know, an English teacher?
We never intended to hurt her. That was not our intention.
Right.
That was not our intention. Who says that? Hey, Martha, good to see you. So had they known, she would have been off limits? Right, Lisa. Exactly. Right. We would have picked someone else who was a lot more sturdier. Like, what? Justin or ChatGPT? Yeah, but I would think that, like, they could plug in this exact letter and see who did this, ChatGPT-ish. I think they were trying to make it sound like Annie wrote it. They knew of her and knew she is a poet. I think that would take a lot of deep thinking to, think about, let's make this sound like Annie, in my opinion. I think you...
Well, again, that is that's double speak. They repeated it. We never intended to hurt her is exactly the same.
Right. I mean, and you're exactly right. If you send a ransom note, your intent is you either pay me or she's dead. Right? Not, I mean, any 84-year-old is fragile. Even if they're not even if they're healthy, let's be real. You don't get better as you age. You just don't. Right? You decline as you age. That's life. That's, none of us are getting younger. So I don't buy it.
And that was not our intention. Why are you telling us your intention twice back to back? You're wasting time. You're wasting words. You're overselling.
Yeah, I don't think it's a nerve.
And why would you say that when, in fact, one, you did attack her and hurt her on her own front porch?
Right. I mean, I'm sure this guy didn't go in, even though he was not moving around very quickly. I'm sure he didn't go in and say, "Ma'am, Miss Nancy, I need you to get out of bed, okay? And I need you to walk to the car, okay? Let's get your," he didn't say, "Let's get your medicine," or "Let's get your shoes," or your hearing aids or anything. This wasn't some, gentle soul who, just said, "Ma'am, I need to pay some bills. I'm going to have to kidnap you. You're going to have to get in my car, okay?"
And you threatened to kill her. How can you say that you didn't intend to hurt her when you wanted everybody to believe that you would kill her if you didn't get the money. Again, total contradiction.
And again, we and our.
Yes.
From,
plural.
Yeah, when we had the me, like that's interesting. And it seems like they're making the point to continue to use the plural.
Of course.
Yeah.
That was a mistake. And
The person who is writing this letter right now, they're like, fuck, I made this mistake. Made that mistake.
it was because instead of starting the sentence, in other words, every time they start a sentence, it's we, right? But the me was in the middle of the sentence. And so they forgot. They weren't focused on it.
Yeah. Now, and I agree with that, Adele. It's pretentious, and I agree with what Texas Honey just said. The porch guy did not write the letters if they are in fact real. I agree with that. This guy, in my opinion, is not the guy saying we did not intend to hurt, Miss Nancy. He doesn't.
And that's
look
what we
like
do
the
in
type.
statement analysis. We look for inconsistencies like that.
She perished shortly after she was taken. We believe it was heart related. Again, there's another we.
Okay, but she perished again, instead of died or passed, after she was taken. She was taken, not after we took her. Right? So this is another indication that it is.
Oh, I mean, I do think she was rushed, Linda. I absolutely think she was rushed. And, she was probably disoriented, just waking up, and you've got this cretin looking at you, and he's got a pew between his legs and stuff. But I also think if there were two people there, they would have shown the second person. Why wouldn't they have? And if there was two people, they would have probably not let her fall.
Somebody.
If they were taking her out alive. I don't really think she was taken out alive. If she was taken out alive, I think she was taken to a location and probably ended.
Distance from the actual abduction. This is something that could seriously undermine the connection. All right.
Some people don't.
She perished shortly after she was taken. By who? By you? Why didn't you say after we took her? Why the difference? When you got we right before, you got we right after. And we believe it was heart related? What are you talking about? I think that she did die shortly after she was taken.
I agree.
But I think that was because the one person had to get back to the real world. There was some obligation they had, and they had her locked up somewhere.
Yes. Now think about this. Jim is right on it. He's one of the best guests, in my opinion. Okay. So think about this. This guy was there on the 11th, January 11th. When was that? It was on a weekend, right? This kidnapping, when did it happen? On a weekend, right? To me, this tells me that he works during the week, right? Now, tell me, who's going, like we just said earlier, who's going to keep Nancy for 7 days? Who's going to babysit her, so to speak, for 7 days? Nobody. Nobody's going to keep her 7 days in a room by herself or sitting there watching her. Which, in my opinion, that tells me that the target was Nancy. And I think these ransom letters were sent by the perpetrators, the first two. But I think it was to throw people off. I think they wanted Nancy dead for whatever reason. No medication, no hearing aids, nothing, not even her shoes. Not even her shoes. I mean, if you were going to keep her alive for up to 7 days, wouldn't you at least let her get her shoes? You're going to make the old lady walk barefoot, keep barefooted? No. So who's going to watch her during the week if you've got to get back to your life, right? You got to get back to your job. You don't want people looking at you, right? Oh, well, so-and-so called out for a week, or so-and-so said he had to go out of town for a week. You're not going to want that. Yeah, exactly, Deborah. Yeah. Nope, I don't think the porch guy staged the house at all. No, I think the goal was Nancy was to be dead. And that's it. That's it. For whatever reason, they wanted her gone. Nobody's going to sit there and watch her for a week. This always happened on the weekend.
That was because the one person had to get back to the real world. There was some obligation they had, and they had her locked up somewhere. And when they came back, she was dead. That is indicated when you feel, excuse me, the indication here is that they were not there when her death occurred. And we believe it was heart related. If she had a heart attack and they were present for that, there's indicators typically. There's pain in the jaw, there's pain in the left arm, there's pressure on the chest. There are things that could tell them what was going on. I don't think that this is the one part of these letters that really undermines the connection between the abduction and these letters and the demand for money.
The also perished is again a word that I don't know that I've ever used that word in conversation.
Right.
Or would ever even write that word.
Right. And I would say that this person wants to come off as being more intellectual than they actually are. They probably have a poor self-image, so they're trying to use big words. And they do have some either a thesaurus or access to AI to get these words. But when you say perished, and when you're trying to oversell who you are and your education.
Good point, Texas. Very good point. So the person who wrote the letter knew she had heart problems. I mean, they might have been able to see her pacemaker. You can see the pacemaker. So, but that's still a good point, right? That she probably died of a heart attack or something. They said, I mean, they knew, obviously, it was Nancy. They knew her daughter was Savannah. They thought she might have had a heart attack.
Level, you're actually indicating the opposite, which they don't really realize.
She is buried in nature now.
Okay, stop.
Okay, yeah, let's stop there.
Do you want to say it again?
So the reason I think, and again, we don't, but the reason I would suspect Nancy had her pacemaker was because when you get older, your heart gets weaker and it doesn't beat as strong or as much as it needs to a lot of times. And I think the reason she had this pacemaker defibrillator was to potentially increase when her heart was not being as strong as it needed to be. Carolina, thank you so much for the jewels, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much. Thank you, love. Good to see you. Thank you for your support. I think she's frustrated with her life, taking it on YouTube. She got letters came out after the crime itself, a cover up, in my opinion. Yeah, 2 days, 48 hours. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Okay. So we've talked about this before. Not only does it say she is buried in nature, it says now. The now is, again, superfluous. You don't need to tell.
Right. You don't need to say she's now in nature. Well, first of all, everyone's buried in nature, essentially. Second of all, she's now in nature. You would just say, for someone to say in nature is just weird to begin with, right? You would just say she's buried somewhere.
Tell us that. Obviously, if you state she's buried, we know that it's now. But in nature is a very stilted way of stating that. When you bury someone, there's either earth burials or water burials. And to say in nature is just, again, like perished. It's not something I've ever said in my life, and you probably haven't either. And most people who are reading.
When have you ever heard anybody say, "Yeah, we buried her in nature"? Nobody says that. Nobody says that. They don't give a location out, right? She's buried, underneath an oak tree, or, she's buried in the desert. She's buried in a beautiful area.
Haven't. So this is something that does indicate potentially some kind of translator or AI function. However, I do believe that it is also consistent with this. I want to overcomplicate. I want to appear smarter than I am. I want people to sort of look up to me. I want Savannah to look up to me.
Yes, I think it could be that. I think it could. I think it could also be. I think that they want to seem that, or even more compassionate in the second letter.
So she is buried in nature now. Nothing you could have done could have changed the outcome.
Now, this is an interesting statement because, again, it's a caring statement. It is letting Savannah off the hook. And that is also an indicator of a feminine personality. And there may be some remorse there. It is not rubbing her face in it. It is not telling her this was your fault. And like the first statement, which is in this letter, we did not fully grasp the seriousness of her physical conditions. They're trying to say that it was an accident and it was inevitable. And that may be setting up a defense if they're caught, but it also may be some indication that they care, and that's a feminine trait.
Well, it could be a feminine trait, but it could also be someone that knew her in general, and it's a remorseful trait, right? So I do think it seems to be more feminine, but it also could be someone that knew Nancy, that is like, Savannah, there's just nothing you could have done. We didn't expect this to happen, even though they fucking kidnapped her out of her house at 2:00 in the morning and took her life, essentially, regardless of, yeah. So it does seem feminine, or it seems like, again, someone that knows her. Buried in nature really stands out to me. It's not the way most people naturally describe a burial at all.
And that they didn't want this to happen. They just wanted Savannah to know who they were, to talk to them.
And then it ends with, "We are truly sorry."
Yeah.
Truly sorry.
Truly.
Overselling, right? You don't have to add the truly. "We are sorry" is enough. But truly sorry is trying to prove it. I swear to God, I'm telling the truth, rather than I'm telling the truth. So people who oversell, they're trying to convince you of the truth of what they're stating, rather than just stating the truth. And so that's something that stands out. But again, it may just be another indicator of a feminine personality that cares, that's not only cares, but feels it's important to convey that caring.
What's your sense, I guess, big picture here? Because from what we've reported, there seems to be some disagreement within the FBI. There's some people who believe the notes are real, and there's some people who don't think they're real, but they're still being treated as possibly being real.
Yeah, well, I think that it's very common for there to be contradictory theories on things when it hasn't been completely solved. My feeling is that unless there was a way for them to find out about the watch on the floor, because they overheard a cop saying something on the radio, or there were pictures taken that were released.
Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe the first 2 letters. Put a 2 in the chat if you do not believe the first 2 letters. I want to see where you guys kind of stand with that. 1 if you do believe the first 2 letters. 2 if you do not believe the first 2 letters. Was trying to communicate or trying to create a certain image of themselves. Okay. So most of you do. A couple of you don't. A few of you don't. I do believe the first 2 letters. I don't think that they would know where that watch was. I agree with Jim here.
Somehow, I don't know what the situation was like. Maybe you could tell me, before these letters were received, the first letter was received, were there hundreds of media outlets at the scene before these letters came, or did that happen after these letters came?
There were a lot out there, but I don't know. I hadn't heard about the Apple Watch being found in a certain place.
No, I'm just saying, but if there's lots and lots of people there, then generally, some offenders will want to come back and witness what they've created.
A lot of people think, that one guy that came back and said TMZ, he still creeps me out to this day. Like, I thought that was so weird. And some of them do want to come back. They really do. Question: the first letter was addressed to Savannah Guthrie. Was the second letter addressed to anyone specifically to? That's a good question. I can't remember. About that. Who was the first ransom letter and the second ransom letter addressed to? Let me see if I can find that Wouldn't the family have seen the watch on the ground when they showed up at the house? Yes, you would think. You would think. I mean, they were there, right? I feel like the TMZ letters are important as well. I think most of them are very important, in my opinion. We will never stop looking for her. We can't see them looking for her, and don't like YouTubers talking about her and bringing awareness to the fact that she's missing. So weird. I think that's why they think the notes are real. So the first ransom letter, it was addressed directly to Savannah. And the second letter, the reporting does not publicly identify a specific name address, such as Savannah or Annie or Tommaso. So first letter was addressed to Savannah, second letter wasn't. But they aren't looking for her, are they? It seems like it's just more of an investigation, if you ask me. Yeah. All right, my guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really, really do appreciate you. You guys are absolutely amazing. I will see you guys in the next one. You never know. I might come back later tonight. We will see. No promises, but there is a case out of Michigan. Did you guys see that the 8 dead in Michigan, 6 children, husband and wife? Ooh. And I want to talk maybe about Elizabeth later, more on that case as well. In the Caribbean. Bad. I find it weird that they sent the letters to TMZ. A lot of us do. So sad. So sad. All right. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Are amazing. Special thanks to mods, members, chat. Really do appreciate you guys. Take good care of yourself. You only get so many trips around the sun. Good night, everyone.